welcome. This is Francis. We met with the FMSQ Racing Series again. We're looking at a track preview with Ben Blue on his Yamaha Motorsport Saint-Césaire. The track preview video this week, Casselman, the 6th round of the championship this year, Casselman, Ontario. This video is presented by KIMPEX. A huge thanks to Ben Blue, our expert FMSQ Pro rider, doing the video, and KIMPEX as well. This is huge. This is a good project for this year. I think it has a good impact, especially with new riders or racers that are new to the FMSQ Racing Series. It's good. They can see the courses, they can see the track layouts, and get a taste of what to expect at each track. So thanks a lot, Ben Blue. Thanks a lot, KIMPEX, for the support. So, all right. So Casselman this year, like I said, the 6th round of the FMSQ Championship. So things are going fast this summer. We're already at this point in the season. So this is coming to Ontario the 19th and 20th of August, coming soon. In pretty much a week away from now. So this video with Ben Blue was filmed, just for your information, it was filmed a few days ago. It was filmed a week before the race, more or less. It was on the 9th of August. So as you can see, it's a little wet. There's some wet spots in the video. I mean, the Ottawa region, where this track is located, they received some good rain quantities within the 2 days prior to this video getting filmed. So it's kind of wet in some areas. Surprisingly, to my surprise, I mean, there's a good mix of like clay and sand, which is pretty cool on that track. But I mean, the clay sections, obviously they can get slippery if it's wet, but to my surprise, I mean, some of these clay sections, especially like the little downhills and uphills, I mean, they were pretty good, even with that amount of water that they got the days prior. These sections were pretty good. So I mean, I was impressed with that. I was expecting these sections to be a lot more slippery, and but yeah, I was impressed. I could see Ben Blue having some great traction. You're gonna see it in the video, some of these up and down hills areas. So yeah, it seems like these sections are draining quite good. As for the wet areas that we've seen, they were more on those sections that are more flat on the course, where I guess the drainage is not as good since the sections are flat. So so yeah, I mean, obviously we're wishing for a nice week prior to the events with some decent weather and nice weather, so that we can have a dry course. But even if it's wet a little bit, you know, it should be fine, and yeah, we should have some nice racing going on at Casselman this year again. So Ben Blue is going through the main racetrack right now. Usually he's doing like the Moto 1 p.m. Track layout on the Sunday. So some sections might not apply to your race. Let's say you're racing other races from the weekend. It might not apply to your racetrack. But this is just to give everyone an idea of what the layout looks like for that track, and also what, you know, the type of terrain, what to expect, that kind of stuff. We can see some branches, trees on the ground, that kind of stuff. The team there at Casselman, there's a good team with the promoter. There's a team of volunteers that support the promoter in the event. I gotta mention guys like Marc Villeneuve and Michel Filion, just to name these two. But there's a big team of volunteers that support the promoter with the event, and obviously we want to thank these guys, and they're going to be doing the cleanup. You could see them, I think, in the video as well. Some of these volunteers that were working on the course as Ben Blue was filming this video, but they're going to clean up obviously all the fallen trees, branches, that kind of stuff. You know, that's all going to be cleaned up prior to the event. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I'm going to talk about the course a little bit, but I also have some key messages for the event coming up on the 6th round of Casselman. So obviously all disciplines are going to be racing, so quad, moto, and e-bicycles. This layout is mainly on a flat in a flat area. I mean, you know, we were just the last race we were at Crab Mountain, New Brunswick. It was a ski hill, so we've seen lots of elevations, up hills, down hills, that kind of stuff. So this race is more or less flat, but as you can see right now, there are some little downhills and up hills, riverbeds, that kind of stuff. So it makes things interesting, but for the most part, it is a flat course. As you can see right now, Ben Blue was just going up this hill, and you can see the traction was actually pretty good. You know, considering the rain and everything, like I was saying earlier, the traction is still pretty good, and yeah, to our surprise, it wasn't slippery at all, pretty much. So yeah, nice course, nice layout. It's going to be an interesting round because it offers different types of ground, sand, clay, dirt, a little bit of roots here and there in the wood section. Nothing really in terms of like rocks or whatever. I mean, but yeah, it's interesting to see all these different types of material on this same track. So it creates different sections in the track, and it makes them for some good racing. It's usually a track that has a lot of flow, good speed. It's usually pretty wide, nothing too technical on this at this track. So it's yeah, I think it makes things interesting. You know, some tracks are way more technical than others. So this one, I think it's gonna fit a lot more riders in terms of, you know, the difficulties that you will find in that race course. I think the difficulties will be more in terms of the physical energy that will be needed, especially for those longer races. Let's say for the 2 hour and a half, riders are going to start to be physically exhausted because they're going to be able to push hard on that track, which is sometimes different versus like some more technical tracks where it's like you can't really push as hard as you would like to physically because you have to tackle all the technical challenges. So all right, so Ben Blue just went through this nice, awesome sand section. It's going to be whooped out on the day of the race. Right now it's pretty flat. It was all reworked, you know, after last year's race. But this sand section along that field is pretty cool. One of my favorite sections. We just saw Ben Blue battling with a wild turkey. So yeah. This is what's going on out there. So so Ben Blue's just going through some little turns along that field right now, and he's gonna head back towards some more woods sections. And I have to mention as well, there are some little detours that will be added for the let's say the PM races. So there are going to be short little sections little loops that will be added. You can check out the well, actually, I would say you should check out the track map for this event. You're going to see some of that information, the additional optional loops that will be added for the PM races. So usually they're just like little downhills and uphill section going down the little riverbed section, and that's just going to add a little bit of technical challenge for the PM races. But you know, like I said, it's still a racetrack that's pretty flowy and not too technical. Other things to mention that are great this year for this round, the starting area We've seen it at the beginning of the video, but I didn't talk about it. But the starting area is completely changed. It changed locations versus last year. So it's going to offer a wider start, longer start. It's going to give more room for everyone, also spectators, all that kind of stuff. So it's changed completely. Check out the track map. You're going to see where it's located. And the second big thing as well for this year is parking spots. So parking spots for participants, people that will be camping on site the whole weekend, that kind of stuff. It changed completely versus last year. So some of you might remember that big field that was used last year. So this is not used anymore. We're kind of going back to what we had before, the years before at Casselman. So the parking, again, check out the track map, but the parking will be along where we have like the motocross tracks and all that kind of stuff. So way closer to the action. You're not going to have to walk 1 kilometer, that kind of stuff to get to the action. It's going to be right there. You're going to be able to park and then have access to whether it's the starting area, the FMSQ trailer, the finish area, or the motocross tracks. You're going to be able to see that within walking distance. So it's going to be interesting for everyone. So you're looking at this field section. Ben Blue is just going to go straight in that section. Some people last year might remember that this was a pretty fast section with a little bit of off-camber to the left, but this year the track builders, the volunteers at Casselman, they're going to add some little detours just to slow down the riders in that section. So just to kind of like reduce the speed of that section, they're going to add little obstacles, little detours that riders will have to kind of go through to reduce the speed. So other thing to mention as well, just so I don't forget, forget some of my points, but the motocross tracks we're going to see later in the video. It's important. The promoter is asking everybody, and the FMSQ, in fact, is asking everyone this year not to go and walk on the actual motocross track. So they're going to put track tape and everything, but we're asking everybody's collaboration for, especially for parents that check out on their kids, that kind of stuff. Make sure they don't go on the motocross track. It's really important for everyone's safety. As racers, we'll be hitting jumps, that kind of stuff. It's really important that everybody's is careful, and it's everyone's responsibility to stay safe on the sites at the FMSQ races. So that's one thing as well. When it comes to handling your own garbages and stuff like that, with your RV, with your camper, it's everyone's responsibility to manage their garbage bags. So there's not going to be any containers or anything like that provided. So you bring back what you your garbage bags, pretty much. So keep that in mind. Check out the FMSQ website, so fmsq.net. Check the site out. The site was updated recently, but there should be some information out on the site. It's in French and English as well. You can select English on the upper right corner of the website, and you can get access to some detailed instructions on how to register, that kind of stuff. So if you're new to the FMSQ, just check out the website, check out the instructions. It's going to give you schedule information, as well as the how to proceed with Live Lap, which is the registration and scoring platform, how to proceed with that for your online registration. So we're asking everybody to register online as much as possible. If you're having difficulties or you're struggling or whatever, you can always go to the FMSQ trailer. There's going to be staff there on Saturday and Sunday to help you out with your registration, pretty much. So you can register right before the race if you want, but obviously we ask everyone to register ahead of time. If you want to register at the event physically, well, maybe plan to do that ahead of time and not just before your actual race. But people are going to be at the FMSQ trailer if needed to answer questions or register. So that's it for the for those instructions. Ben Blue is currently making his way towards the main motocross track, I should say. So he's currently along where the start area will be. So he's making his way towards that motocross track. There is going to be a technical, let's say, hard section for the Moto PM race on Sunday, where you're going to have lugs, rucks, tires, and there's like a school bus that you have to go over, that kind of stuff. So that's going to make things interesting for spectators. It's a small section, but it's kind of like something the promoter put together over the last couple of years. But it's just it just makes for a little more hard little section with a few obstacles to go over, and it's nice for spectators and makes it's a spot to watch and see how riders are managing themselves through this through those harder sections on the track. So yeah, that's going to be added. You don't see it in the video, but that's going to be added. Yeah, everyone, I mean, definitely we recommend you to walk the course or use a bicycle, whatever, to walk to check out the course prior to your race. This is always something good to do, as well as looking at the track video and the track map. But yeah, but right now Ben Blue's just hitting a few jumps. This motocross track, it's got some decent jumps in it, but it's nothing crazy. And as well, the landing is pretty smooth, or I should say you can hit it at different speeds. It's going to be good for all types of let's say all levels of riders. So yeah, it's a nice little track for everyone. Other things to mention, there's going to be a food stand, or I don't know how to say it, but maybe like some sort of like food truck. It's going to be something that the promoter will set up for the event. So if you have friends and family and they want to eat something or get something to drink, that's going to be available on site. There are there's an optional loop that's on the track map that's not shown in the video. That's going to be decided, prior to the few days prior to the event, if that's going to be added or not. It was a little too wet at that time that it's going to be kept optional. But I think this racetrack in general has a good length in terms of kilometers and lap times, that it's not going to matter if this is added, fine. But if it's not added to the racetrack on the race day, it's completely fine, and it's still going to make for some great racing. It was just a small section. So anyways, that's something I can say as well. But I mean, Ben Blue is currently heading towards where the finish area is going to be. So yeah, so Casselman 2023, the 6th round of the FMSQ Cross-Country National Championship this year. This is happening. This is coming to Ontario on the 19th and 20th of August. So coming soon. We're expecting a lot of people. We want to see you. So come and check it out. Come and race it. All right. See ya.